If you were forced to give up an item, let's just say OV scores his, what's the record for goals? 871. Say, I think it is, Wayne's. Say he scores 872 and against the opposition. And let's say Shesterkin, let's say it's in New York, and he fires the puck into the crowd, the goalie for the Rangers, and you catch it. And then the Capitals come over to you and tap on the glass. Can we get that puck? It's Ovi's, it's the record-breaking goal. A, you don't want to give it to him, but B, you know you should. What would be an appropriate...
But C, that's $1 million puck in your hand.
They say the football's $500,000.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
So the puck would be... This didn't break a record. The puck would be right there.
No, what would you want?
$500,000.
You scumbag!
That'd be the coolest thing to have the record-breaking puck. But you know what?
Oh, it's $894. Sorry. So if it's $895, you catch the puck for $895. Because what Tom said was, we'll get him a helmet, maybe a couple jerseys or something. I'm not quite like you.
Yeah.
I'm not a complete pimp like you. I would say, I want the helmet. I want the jerseys. I want season tickets. I want lunch with you at the Golden Corral tomorrow, Tom. And let me think about it a little longer, and then I'll get back to you.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
How did this fly get in there? Somebody got a fly swatter?
yeehaw!
It was a shot of Prairie Jesus is really what it was.
It was.
You'd think we would be getting used to it, but we never get used to it. We never get tired of good things happening.
This life doesn't get old.
No. It was a nice little distraction from the real world, and here we are today for a coffee session.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. Friday coming in hot. Football Friday. And like Monday, we're going to break with a little tradition here. I haven't told Moose this. He doesn't know, but it's not that big of a deal. As you see, I am in very sunny South Florida. I apologize, guys, for the lighting thing, but it is what it is. Trust me. We're live and in color, and Moose is with us in Toronto. Moose, don't panic, okay? Don't panic.
Okay.
When I say we're going to break with, when I say we're going to break with tradition, I'm going to explain it here real quickly what we're going to do. On Monday, instead of the usual warm-up, the quick six, and we went through all what was going on in sports, the rundown. Remember we did the overreaction Monday with 6 bold overreaction statements?
Yes.
That went over really well. And I'm going to explain in a second how we're going to change things up a little bit today, other than to say that our guests are former Toronto Argonauts kicker Dan Giancola. Do you remember him?
I can't say that I do, and I feel bad for that, but I don't.
That's okay. It's okay. It's not. There's no real wrong answer. There isn't a wrong answer there. But I mean, I called his games, and he wrote me on Facebook the other day, and he's like, Rod, I don't know if you remember me. Of course I remember you. I broadcast your games. And we're Facebook friends. But it's not like, anyways, Dan Giancola, for those that don't know, played for the Buffalo Bills. Are you familiar with them? National Football League team in 2000. Played with the Toronto Argonauts, Ottawa Renegades, Montreal Alouettes, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Dan Giancola, he's a Grey Cup champion from Thorold, Ontario. I don't know where that is, but we'll find out. Dan Giancola has written a book, and it's unreal. It's called Be That One, and it's about his very amazing life story. That's coming up later on today. Jim Barker from the CFL on TSN, 5-time Grey Cup champion, is going to stay with us here. Looks like maybe through the whole offseason, thanks to his marketing and rep company, EMJ Marketing, for making that happen. And then I saw a lot of scuttlebutt on social media about what's going on with the XFL-USFL merger. And to be honest, with the CFL season behind us, everybody else and their dog talking NFL. And trust me, we'll talk NFL today, too, on a Football Friday. I thought there's only one guy I care to hear from on the XFL-USFL merger. It's Reed Johnson from the Markcast. So I'm like, Clark, can we make that happen? And Clark made it happen. So Reed Johnson's going to be with us from Seattle in hour 2. So those are the guests. Can you hit the quick 6 show horn, please? Director Jordan, who's back. Trust me, I'm sure it killed Director Jordan to miss a couple of days' work because he's directed more of these shows than you and I have been on. How about that?
How about that?
But did you guys know that it's Tuna's birthday? Did you know that? The director that filled in for Jordan this week. Did you know that, Producer Clark? Just wondering. You knew. Okay. Well, it's not like I love the guy or anything. It came up in my Facebook birthdays today.
I knew it was his birthday.
But
we were just waiting to get him a present till later. Okay, I had planned to go out this afternoon.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The cake is coming.
Okay. Just so these guys aren't sitting there waiting with their finger over the detonation button, Director Jordan, can you hit the quick 6 show horn, please? And let's go. So here's how it's going to be different today. It's going to be a free-for-all Friday. How about this? Whatever the hell everybody wants to talk about for the next 2 hours, I'm down with. Any structure that we have, which, believe it or not, we have structure. It's unreal. It doesn't seem like it, but we do. The Sober Carpenter text line, as the boys are saying, 902-518-3033. Our sales coordinator, Kevin the Medium in Calgary, said there ain't nothing better for sales and marketing than you cracking a Sober Carpenter on the air. So that's what we're doing, buddy. We're going to get buzzed on suds and have ourselves a big and rich time on this IPA, black IPA, Sober Carpenter. What are you laughing at?
It's now become an obscure reference because it's like 20 years old, that song now, probably. But it's good. I love it.
The point is, we're just going to throw it all out the window and just have fun today on a Football Friday. And I'll guarantee you there ain't no other show doing that today. So, Johnny O, it's a great day, right, Rod? Yeah, it's a great day. I'm jumping all over the place. And I was having supper last night with our club, and my buddy Derek, he's from Georgia. I want to say this. He just said, well, this was the idea. It's actually the way they say it, Darren.
Yes.
The idea was to do this. And I know that because I think he's from Mayberry, and that doesn't mean anything to you, Mayberry, Andy Griffith Show, but it does to a lot of our listeners and viewers. So anyways, I'll save the hockey for the sports updates. The point of being, it's going to be all football here today. And you wouldn't even believe that we're live on national television on Game Plus TV all across Canada. We're on the and 31 U.S. states TV. We're on the radio in Atlanta. You wouldn't even know because we're just a couple of guys jacking around here today, Mickey Mousing. But I will start with this, and it is the National Football League. And we'll get to the CFL stuff, too, because my phone went off last night while I was out for supper with my club, and the guy on the other end of the line wanted to talk about some CFL stuff and the Rough Riders coaching thing, and we're going to get to that in this segment, if not this segment, next for sure. But number one, Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdown passes, and the Dallas Cowboys extended their home winning streak to 14 games by rallying for a 41-35 victory over the Seattle Seahawks. Dak's 12-yard pass to Jake Ferguson put Dallas in front with 4.5 minutes to go. Geno Smith threw 3 touchdown passes to DK Metcalf, but Seattle couldn't avoid a 3rd consecutive loss. So kudos to those who play fantasy football and have DK Metcalf on their roster. Last night, Dylan opened his phone. He's across the table from him, and he goes, "Do you play fantasy football?" And I'm like, no. Talk about a conversation killer. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't prefer fantasy. I prefer reality. And I don't know how much you paid attention to those games last night, Dallas and Seattle, Darren. Neither is your team. I saw a Tank from Estevan wrote in here yesterday and said, "I'm happy for Rod that his team's winning and in contention, and that's the Dallas Cowboys." And something dawned on me today, Darren, and this is where I want your thoughts. I had an intuition as I was standing in the kitchen. The older you get, the more you've been to the show. Like, let's just get to the playoffs. If you're the Dallas Cowboys. We've been in the playoffs every year. Let's just get to the playoffs, and let's see if we can finally beat San Francisco to get out of the NFC. I don't really care about the regular season, but the intuition I had was, well, just wait. Like life, while you want to get to the destination, whatever that may be, you're supposed to enjoy the journey along the way. You should enjoy the journey. Trust the process, as they say. So for the Dallas Cowboys, we keep winning. And I'm with the coach, Mike McCarthy, who said after the game, we need games like this. We're going to need games like this. Because the Cowboys were steamrolling everybody. As you know, 3 or 4 games, maybe 5, they've won by 20 points or more. They're kicking the crap out of everybody. But the Seahawks made them sweat last night. Seahawks were leading at halftime. The game went down to the final couple minutes before the Cowboys pulled it out. That's a good thing. And you see how the fans, they want you to kick the crap out of everybody every week by 40 points. That's not actually a good thing. That's not actually a good thing. Because if you steamroll everybody in the regular season, we've seen it with teams, the second you get a little adversity punch you in the mouth, whether it's late in the regular season or the playoffs, you don't know how to handle it. Ask the Toronto Argonauts. So I'm enjoying the journey. Another Cowboys win, 14 in a row at home. Let's get to the playoffs, but I at least will pay attention to what's going on in the regular season and enjoy it. You dig?
I dig. And I'll tell you, I was paying attention to that game because Tony Pollard's on my fantasy team. And he scored a touchdown in the second half, and I'm jumping off the couch, and life is good. But you don't care about my fantasy team. No, it was a good game. It was a really good football game. And a couple things stood out to me. They say it's the 5th time ever, not a single punt in the football game. That's pretty wild. I don't know about ever, or 5th time this season. I can't remember what the stat was, but no punts. Geno actually talked about him yesterday, saying there's a lot of pressure on Geno. And he threw 3 touchdowns to DK. He ran for another one, but it wasn't enough. I thought, Mike McCarthy, as the one criticism that came up, still needs to work on the time management. There's no way that Seattle should have kept getting the ball back with chances to win. They had to, the Cowboys stopped them 3 times on 4th down in the last few minutes of the football game. They should have never had the ball back. But good win for Dallas to be able to overcome. Come from behind win and full marks. It makes them a tougher team to get out later on in the year.
Yeah, and I might tell you that we will play Week 13 NFL Deal or No Deal later on in the program today. That's where Darren and I, for our official betting partner, Bet Regal, take a look at the betting lines from the Bet Regal odds makers and decide if we're going to take the bet or not. It's always a lot of fun. I'll remind those that are writing in with their hockey comments, it's a Football Friday. They missed off the top where I said I'm going to save the hockey talk for just the sports updates. I see like people writing into the show going, how about those Flames? How about those Oilers? Here's a really good example. This guy, Ted in Edmonton, if you can believe, 902-518-3033 writes in, and he says, the Oil will win the Stanley Cup this year, guaranteed, because they won their 4th in a row. I love that our viewership's growing, the ratings show us that we're growing, we're getting bigger, and that's awesome. But the new people, you need to understand something. With your teams, Leafs, Cowboys, Flames, Oilers, Blue Jays, win a few in a row, we're going to win a championship. We're going all the way. Lose a few in a row, we suck, fire the coach. I'm not here for the bandwagon. I'm not here for the elevator. I'm not here for the toilet seat going up and down. Okay? So write in whatever you want, but I'm not getting sucked in to that. I can't. Too old. Point 2, I was saying to Darren in our morning meeting, I've officially moved to Florida, okay? But it's taken me longer than I'd like to get onto this college football. And I was trying to explain it, and Darren was trying to explain it to me. And I don't know that you had any success doing that, but for tonight, for a conference just about on its last legs, the Pac-12 is having one hell of a final kick. Number 3, Washington, and number 5, Oregon, 2 of the 4 conference teams ranked in the top 25, meet tonight for the winner will probably get a college football playoff spot. And the Pac-12 has not placed a team in the playoffs of college football since Washington made it way back in 2016. That lack of success in the NCAA's marquee sport is why every team other than Oregon State and Washington State are heading to other conferences next year. Washington and Oregon will be Big Ten conference rivals, while their respective state rivals try to keep the Pac-12 going in some form with the help of an alliance with the Mountain West. I don't even know what the hell I just read. I made it sound convincing, like I knew what I was talking about. There are two very big college football games on television tonight. New Mexico State versus Liberty. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. In the Conference USA Championship game, Liberty Flames, where Ken Austin coached up until this year, for many years, they've not lost a game all year. First time in program history. That's tonight. Conference USA. I love saying that. And then this game I just talked about, Washington, Oregon, in Vegas for the Pac-12 championship. I know I'm dumb. I'm a blockhead. I've been called that. It's a lot. And God knows there's enough shows talking about this. We're not going to be that show. But are you globbing on to what's going on right now, particularly this weekend and then moving forward? And then, God, wouldn't even get me started on the transfer portal. Kids changing teams. It's insane.
It's a lot. The transfer portal's a lot. You're seeing players already declaring that they're going into the portal. I don't love that. That's a lot. I'm not a fan. But I'm all over the college football, championship games this weekend tonight. I'm gearing up for Washington and Oregon. Those are two, of the top programs in the country, perennially too, and the most popular programs. And it is very interesting when you start looking at who might get into the playoffs, the 4 teams. And, it looks like Michigan's got their ticket. They'll play Iowa Saturday in the Big Ten championship game. And they're talking about, will Iowa even score a touchdown in that game? Well, why are we playing a championship game then, if we don't think they're even going to score a touchdown? But whatever. So they'll probably have one of the spots. We're really excited about Alabama, Georgia. And what happens if Alabama wins and they both have one loss? Who gets into the playoff? So there's endless discussions across the U.S. networks on this stuff. But I'm definitely into the game because the early season game between Washington and Oregon was such a close game that Washington won. Does it matter more, a championship game in terms of rankings? I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, and that's the point, is the game, I'm just trying to tell our viewers, whether you're in Canada or the USA, that Pac-12 championship game in Vegas is going to be on your television tonight. So whether you know who the personalities are or the ramification of what's going on, it's going to be on your TV. And you're going to be watching it, and it's going to be fun because it's football. So there's that. And while the CFL is in its off-season, and by the way, that's our next point coming up, we're going to have to push most of the talk into the next segment. But to sit and say, they should get rid of the salary operations cap. Oh, they should change these rules. No, that is not us. No, we're going to talk about what is going on. And that's these huge college football games, particularly this weekend. Now, my next point is this. CFL news. Corey Mace being hired in Saskatchewan. He held his introductory news conference this morning. We're going to talk about that. Touchdown Pacific. We have not spent enough time on that. This week, huge announcement of what the Canadian Football League coming to Victoria. We got more college football to talk, NFL Week 13, and, of course, some hockey items, too. But we're keeping it to football today. But for the most part, it's a free-for-all Friday. And we'll be right back, live on Game Plus Television, WQEE Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
We're all capable of doing more. More speed, more reps, more commitment to getting every detail perfect. and that's why it's important we never miss a donation appointment. Blood and plasma donors are needed every day in Canada to support thousands of patients that rely on Canada's lifeline. We're asking you to join the Hockey Gives Blood Partners for Life team. Join today by downloading the Give Blood app or book online at blood.ca/HGB.
IKS Game Day wishes to congratulate the city of Estevan and Affinity Place on their brand new center ice display. This state-of-the-art score clock features 5 LED faces with full motion graphics, scoring integration, and our new Halo mounting system. If it's time for an upgrade, let us show you how to deliver the best fan experience. You can find us at iksgameday.com.
Did you know that you can help save a life? And you can start right now.
Stem cells from male donors increase chances of positive outcomes for patients, yet they only make up 40% of our registry.
Today, there are hundreds of people in Canada searching for their life-saving match.
You can be a patient's best hope. Be a hero by registering with Canadian Blood Services Stem Cell Registry now.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
He writes in and he says, I decided to crack an Irish Red Sober Carpenter beer this morning, Rod, and I never drink in the morning. LOL. It's non-alcoholic beer for everybody. We save it for Fridays. Dang, is it yummy. And Moose even picked it up from Whole Foods. I mean, I could drink it every day, but I try to save it for Fridays for the most part, if I can. On a Football Friday, I see a lot of people checking in. They missed right off the hop. Here's the roadmap of today's Football Friday. It's largely a free-for-all Friday. Whatever you want to talk about, we're going to try and keep it focused on football. And coming up later on in hour 2, Reed Johnson will join us. I see Jenna from Southern California chiming in. She's a big XFL fan. And there's something's happened with the XFL-USFL merger. I don't really know what. Reed's going to straighten it all out for us. We did have a big chunk of this first segment talking about last night's NFL game. And here right now, oh, and we also talked college last segment. We're going to talk about some Canadian Football League stuff here right now. And now would be a really good time, I guess, to tell you what the poll question is. It's brought to you, as it always is, daily by Key Auto Group at the Key Auto Group. You can buy with confidence knowing that they provide reports on all vehicles they sell. Get fully informed about your next vehicle by going to keyautogroup.ca. Please go check them out. Support our sponsors. They're what keep us on the air. The poll question is, do you support how do you feel about the hiring of Corey Mace as head coach of the Canadian Football League Saskatchewan Roughriders? And we can settle in on this one for a while because it is a Football Friday. This is the day I welcome all and sundry football fans, no matter what league you cheer for, hopefully all of them, come on inside. And the vast majority of what I see here, and Clark, I'll have you look up what they're saying on YouTube, if you don't mind, for those that voted there. Your options are good move, bad move, or undecided. 79% on Twitter are saying, yes, good move. 79% saying good move. What's the YouTube people saying, Clark? 54% say good move. 30, did you say 39% undecided? I appreciate the honesty more so with the YouTube people because I'll be honest, CFL guy here, no doubt about it. I've never met Corey Mace. I don't know whether he's going to be a good coach or not, so put me in the undecided group. But I know the Rider Nation better than anybody. I do. Lived there for half a century as part of it. They're all excited, but they don't know much about the guy. Darren, I can see why supporting the move, the majority would say that, but I think they should be voting for undecided because nobody really knows how this is going to work out. I admire the optimism, the buzz, the hype, but let's be real.
I think that's it. It's optimism, it's hype, and those are good things. As a fan, you only want to look at reasons why your team's going to be good and why things are going to be great, and so you want to be excited. And I think that's how you as a fan, that's how you have to go into an era with a new coach. No matter who they hired. They could have hired the person at the bottom of the list that you've never heard of and you absolutely hated. But as a fan, you don't want to have a new coach and be like, huh, we're going to suck now. This sucks. I don't want, you know what I mean? That's not fun. So I admire it, but you're right. We really don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know how he's going to do as a head coach. We've seen a lot of coordinators move to the head coaching ranks and it doesn't work out because you have a different set of responsibilities and a lot more pressure. But Corey's checking all the boxes so far. So I look at, when you're going down the path of something, are you getting green lights or are you getting red lights, right? And right now it seems like, it's a lot of green lights with Corey Mace. And maybe it's a yellow.
No,
but you're speeding through those yellows.
What is the definition? What's the definition of the amber light? What is it? What are you supposed to do when you see it?
It's caution. Caution.
Proceed with caution. So move ahead.
Yes.
But be cautious.
But you're right.
And that's what we would
still moving.
Yeah.
Still moving ahead. But we will find out. I think we need to be cautious. We need to be open-minded, but we'll really find out. You can't decide if he's going to be a great coach or not today. We got to wait till the season.
No, so Jeff the Stamps fan writes in, and today is his kind of show, Jeff the Stamps fan. He watches every day, and I appreciate that, but today's the kind of show that is made for him. He says, whether Corey Mace is a good hire or not is a discussion for this time next year. No one knows. Yeah, I get it. But I also know when Matthew Tkachuk was traded for Mackenzie Weegar and that crew that we wanted to declare a winner that day. And we said the Flames fleeced the Panthers. Less than a year later, had it 100% wrong. But you need to declare a winner that day. And that's how this sports media business goes. I don't like it. I didn't write the rules. It's the way that it is. And while we're sitting here right now, I should make it very clear. I'm going to spend more time on this in my weekend columns. But there were Rider fans writing into rodpeterson.com saying, okay, Riders look headed in the right direction. They got their coach. You need to get on board and start promoting the team. And actually, I was out busy doing a lot of stuff yesterday afternoon. I didn't see this guy's comments. He's in Calgary, but he's a Rider fan. There's a lot of those. And I didn't immediately publish his comment to our website. So it would there's 8, 9, 10 comments from him. Growing rage the more he waited to see his comment, right? And he's like, I don't respect you anymore. You had a bad ending with the Riders. You need to get over it. But my God, bro, slow your roll. Fans can get on excited, hype. Do you. Where we have a problem is when you start telling me how to feel and what to do. Because, again, to say Corey Mace is going to fix all the Riders' problems is saying that the head coach was the only problem the Riders had or was the problem, and I don't believe that was the case. History is the best predictor of the future. A year ago, they said the quarterback was the problem and they fired him. And the offensive coordinator. How did that turn out? So now it's the coach. No, it's way more than all of that. And people don't want to see it, and that's fine. And, you know, somebody brought up the former president, Jim Hobson. He's on the show all the time, or a lot. I remember we used to sit around all the time in restaurants, airport departure gates, whatever. We spent a lot of time together. He's probably watching right now. He watches this show every day. And he said this very matter-of-factly. He's like, as the voice of the team, you have to support everything the team does. You know, Jim would always sit back and stroke his goatee. And he didn't. It wasn't an order. It was like this subliminal, rhetorical comment. You're the voice of the team. You have to support everything the team does. And I think we all know that's true, right, Darren? That's true. But I had half the people yelling at me when I was the voice of the team for 20 years. You're not saying it the way it is. You're a Cabana boy. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that bothered me because they were right. You know, and I was supporting things. I was okay with everything that went on with Jim when he was the president. But after he left, I had a tough time reconciling what was going on because it was wrong. So now here I'm reporting on what I see and what I know is going on, and I'm getting to a point here. And now I got the other half of people yelling at me, going, you need to support the team. You need to. No, bro, no. So either way, somebody's going to be mad. And the point, Darren, and I want your take on this, is Jeff, the Stamps fan, wrote in here and said, well, let's be honest, Corey Mace was the third choice for the team. Do you see that there's a real... This has become like a political football or a PR game where the Riders are trying to massage it to make it look like, no, that's not true. He's our top candidate, and we soured on those other two candidates. It's being reported that Scott Milanovich from Hamilton and Buck Pierce from Winnipeg turned it down, but that's not right. I don't know what's true and what isn't. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. I mean... And again, you can't dwell on that or give that any time or any of your energy if you're anywhere near that organization. You know, can you imagine going to your wife or your husband or your partner and saying, yeah, I love you and I spend my life with you, but you were my third choice. You know, you're just lucky A and B said no. You know, like nobody needs, like, it doesn't put anybody in a good position. I understand why fans would want to, would have those conversations, and media might have those conversations, to be like, look, you got your guy, but you failed on the first two. So, that can mean a lot of things, but I don't think anybody in that organization can dwell on that. And I think for Corey, he needs to just understand he's got the job. Forget about if he was the first choice, the second choice. All he can do is go out and coach this team the best that he can.
Perspective, brother. We talk about it all the time. Yeah. You're right. From a Rider perspective and Corey Mace's, it doesn't matter. If you want to know the truth, then I guess it does matter. I'm just trying to, oh, God, there's so many comments coming in here. They do love Football Fridays here. Alan in Saskatoon writes, and he says, with management the way it is in Riderville, I want to see Corey get free reign, but I doubt he will. I love Football Friday. And Ryan in Toronto says, I hope we see a lot more big moves in the CFL. It's so much fun to talk about and keeps the CFL in the discussion. Yes, it does. I'll just say this. Last night when I was with my club, meeting in downtown Boca, Meisner Park, I'm on the phone in the restaurant. I kind of felt bad. I'm like, I can't ignore this. And I was just comparing stories with my friend who called. I'm not even going to name him. But I was like, do you believe the story that two guys turned it down? He's like, yes, I do. And he goes, I also know that there are 3 coaches on the Rough Riders staff from last year that the Riders are trying to make the new coach put on his staff. Holdovers. That's not completely unheard of. It's not unheard of. But that's what's going on. And I'll tell you who they are. The O-line coach, special teams coach, and the quarterbacks coach. Vitale, Drew Tate, and Majuri. Those are the guys that they're trying to make the next coach bring along. So I guess we'll see if Corey Mace puts them on his staff. That's what I heard. And Scott Milanovich didn't want to do that. It was a big reason why he was not named the coach of the Riders, and Buck Pierce turned it down for his own reasons. And he's saying how much he loves Winnipeg. That's probably true, too. So as we sit here today, 24 hours after the hire and on the day of the news conference, we'll talk about it. After today, it doesn't really matter. And with Ryan in Toronto talking about off-season stories in the CFL, I mean, I apologize. Can somebody want to write in from Victoria or Vancouver and tell me, was there a date for Touchdown Pacific? Again, it doesn't really matter because it's over 6 months away. I hope to be there. I really do. We're planning some really big things with the Canadian Football League next year. One of those would be real nice to be broadcasting from Victoria and Touchdown Pacific. Oh, yeah, baby. Sign me up. All About It is good. And hey, sorry, Darren, before Natasha writes in from Winnipeg, and she says, I'm a diehard Bomber fan. I have to say Touchdown Pacific isn't going to be the moneymaker Touchdown Atlantic is. Ottawa's fans won't travel like the Riders fans have every summer. Sad to be hearing the best kitchen party won't be happening in 2024. Well, it's just 1 year. I'll allow the comment, but whatever. Let's just be positive and support it. Have you had any thoughts on Touchdown Pacific since it was announced the other day?
It's not meant, I don't think, to be a moneymaker. It's not about that. I think Amar Doman has a long-term vision. I think he's a big thinker, just from what I gather. Again, I haven't had a one-on-one time with him to get to know him, but this is about welcoming in the province. You got to host a Grey Cup. You've got a team that's on the rise. You got a lot of good things going, and now you're opening your doors. It's a great thing. If it costs them a little bit of money, so be it. If they make a little bit of money, so be it. But they're going to get more hype around this team, more people talking about you, maybe sell more Grey Cup packages. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah. By the way, thank you, John Ohm. The guy from Winnipeg comes to the rescue. It'll be Labor Day weekend. Works for me. Let me check if I'm doing anything. Nope. I'm going to be in Victoria. Okay, Moose. See you in hour 2. Get your thinking cap ready. Dan the Man Giancola joins us next on a Football Friday. NFL and CFL veteran. We're live from on Game Plus Television, WQEE Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
IKS Game Day wishes to congratulate the City of Estevan and Affinity Place on their brand new center ice display. This state-of-the-art score clock features 5 LED faces with full motion graphics, scoring integration, and our new Halo mounting system. If it's time for an upgrade, let us show you how to deliver the best fan experience. You can find us at IKSGameDay.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
We're all capable of doing more. More speed, more reps, more commitment to getting every detail perfect. And that's why it's important we never miss a donation appointment. Blood and plasma donors are needed every day in Canada to support thousands of patients that rely on Canada's lifeline. We're asking you to join the Hockey Gives Blood Partners for Life team. Join today by downloading the Give Blood app or book online at blood.ca/HGB.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, the RP Show continues on a Football Friday, and I'm real excited about our next guest. CFL fans will remember the name Dan Giancola, Thorold, Ontario product, CFL veteran, Grey Cup champion, and had that tryout with the Buffalo Bills in 2000. He joins us on the program today, and I could tell Dan Giancola that you're a very humble guy. You wrote me on Facebook and said, Rod, I don't know if you remember me. I'm like, Dan, I called your games for a lot of years. You know that, right? Good to see you again, brother. And now you're an author. Congratulations.
Thank you. It sounds crazy, don't it?
A little bit, but you've got a story to tell. You know what? We might as well jump right into that. The book, Be That One. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you know what, man? Initially, when I wanted to write this book, I just started writing it. And I was always told by so many people, CFL books traditionally don't sell well. And so hence why no publishers or anybody really would want to, touch the book, really, at the end of the day. I reached out to Perry Lefko, who's a very good friend of mine, and he was amazing with me over all the years of playing in the Canadian Football League just in general, the Buffalo Bills and all that fun stuff. And I said, Perry, man, I really want to write a story about my career. So I sent them a chapter, and make a real long story short, it was about, I called the chapter The Kick That Changed My Life Forever. And it was my game-winning field goal against Hamilton as a rookie. It was my third game. And he read it. He texted me back right away. He said, dude, this is pretty awesome. I said, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I said, I was wondering if you terribly would mind editing the chapter for me. He said, you know what? I'll do that for you. But would you do me a favor? Can you send me a chapter about your heart attack? So May 20th, 2020, I had a massive heart attack here in my fitness studio. And the doctors say I should have died. I had what they call the widowmaker. And it was brutal. And they said I should have died right here in my studio. I had 100% blockage of the main artery. So I wrote about this. I sent him this chapter to him. And he said to me, Dan, I'm going to do this with you, but under one condition, that we make sure that this is not just about football. And I said, dude, 150%. I don't want this to be about football. I want to be about beating the odds on the field. He said to me, I think you might be able to go one more further. About 2 years after my heart attack, I had gotten a clean bill of health. August 17th, 2022, I was sitting right here in this office where I'm sitting right now. And I ended up with a massive stroke. It's what they call the grade 17. So to kind of put that in perspective, a level 10 stroke is permanent disability with no really chance of recovery. I had a level 17. I was here in my studio the one night. I had a great day of training my clients, doing everything here, and I sat down. It was about 8:15 at night. I was cleaning my studio. Everybody was gone. I locked my door every single night. On that night, apparently, thank God, I forgot. Excuse me. And next thing you know, the only way I could describe it, and like I did in the book, was I've never done a drug a day in my life. I can honestly say that on my own life. The only way I can describe it is if you go under an anesthetic, you're getting some form of surgery, and I've had a few of them. And the doctor says to you, I want you to count down from 10 to 1. And you get to like 9 or 8. And next thing you know, you're fading out and everything around you is becoming blurry, basically tunnel vision, and then you're out. And that's the way it was for my stroke. I just remember my right leg turned in, my right arm turned in. Little did I know I was paralyzed on my complete right side of my body. I was face down in the ground and I was trying to push myself up with my left hand. And I kept falling on my face. Finally, somehow, by the grace of God, I don't know how, I do remember getting myself almost to a seated position in my couch, and I kept falling over. And next thing you know, my buddy Dave walked in and he grabbed my face. And all I remember was his eyes, his nose, and his mouth. And he was talking to me, and I was trying to respond back to him, and I couldn't. And next thing I know, my peripheral vision, whatever I have left of it, I happened to look down to my left, and I saw 2 sets of boots, brown boots, blue pants, and the wheels what seemed to be to a gurney. Next thing you know, I wake up in the ICU in Niagara Falls, unresponsive. I remember the nurse grabbing my face, screaming my hand, and I can hear my wife and my daughter beside me, and I look to my right, and everybody was looking for me to communicate some way, somehow. I couldn't. I just kept focusing on picking up my right arm, and it just kept falling down like a rock. And I tried to move my left leg or my right leg. I couldn't move it. All I remember is the doctor saying, time is of the essence. We got to get him to Hamilton right now for surgery. At that point, apparently they administered, I believe what they call, it's either TPI or TPA, the shot that they give you, and it's apparently a high dosage of a blood thinner. When I was about 5 minutes away from Hamilton, I just remember all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my right arm shot up. Not making it about the book right now, but that's hence right here, the bottom picture. That's me with my arm up. My daughter was in the ambulance, and she happened to have the camera in her hand, and she snapped it. You got to just give me 1 second, man, because you relive this. It never goes away. And I remember the paramedic looked at me and said, hi. And I look at her and go, hi, how are you? She goes, good. What's going on? And I said, I don't know. She goes, you can move and you can talk. And she goes, do you know where you are? And just remember saying to her, ambulance? What's your name? And I said, Dan. Do you know your last name? I didn't know my last name yet. We get into the Hamilton hospital. They wheel me in, and there was 5 doctors waiting for me. It was about 9 nurses. They wheeled me right into The CAT scan told me not to move. At this point, though, I was moving everything and I could understand what they were saying. I still had no idea what happened. They wheel me out. Doctor looks at me and he says, "Do you know why you're here?" And I said, "No, doctor, sorry, I don't." He said, "You had a massive stroke." So hard to understand that when for 2 years the doctors were telling you that you're okay, that your heart was good. And now I'm laying here, massive stroke. Doctor walked over to my wife and said, he had what we call, Mrs. Giancola, best case scenario. The shot was administered within 45 minutes of him having a stroke. And it doesn't always work. And for him, it did. I should be dead. I should be dead, or I should, from what they told me, I should be dead or a complete vegetable. If my buddy didn't walk in that night, I would have been brain dead within 90 minutes from the magnitude of the stroke. Somehow, some way, by the grace of God, I'm here. 150% of me with no side effects. So for years, I always took pen to paper and I started writing my book. And I was afraid because I just didn't think my story was good enough and nobody would want to buy the book. And I'm sitting here right now and I'm still shocked that I'm on the show with you right now. I'm really honored. I'm being totally honest with you. You should don't mind my shaking, okay? It's more excitement than anything. So just understand that I'm okay.
Either way, it doesn't matter. We're the ones that are honored to have you. You should not be with us, Dan. So it's a miracle, period.
It really is.
And I have to apologize. We do have a time restraint, but let me just say in a minute, what is the genesis of your book? What's the message?
It's beating the odds on the field with no college university experience and beating the odds in life. Honestly, that's what it's all about. And it's a bestseller right now on Amazon, and I'm so honored. So, yeah. Thank you, Perry Lefko.
You've given us all a lot to think about here, Dan. A champion on and off the field and your family. Oh, gosh. Did they have quotes in the book? Are they talked to or about? Have they written portions of the book? Your daughter that took the picture?
They're all through the book. I talk about them throughout the whole entire thing. Mike Pinball Clemens, God bless him, he forwarded my book. What an amazing forward he did for me. They didn't write any quotes in the book. No, nothing like that. This is all straight from me in my heart, chasing my dream for 9 years and surviving two things that I shouldn't be here.
Man, Dan, well, I tell you, I love you. I'm glad that you're here. It was an honor to call your games. It's an honor to talk with you now. Be That One is the book, everybody. You're looking for a gift for the CFL fan, the football fan in your life. Go to Amazon, Dan Giancola. I kind of apologize that we have to run, Dan, but will you come back again here soon? We'll talk about book sales and all the rest.
I'm honored, man. You know what? Anytime. Not even about the book, just to be a part of it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Good to see you again, man, and congratulations on everything. Dan Giancola, best-selling author now and Grey Cup champion. We'll be right back. Game Plus TV, WQEE Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
I'm Bridget Lacquette. I'm a First Nation Olympic silver medalist, and I'm proud to represent Indigenous hockey players across Canada. Each year, hundreds of Canadians need a stem cell transplant from an unrelated donor to save their life. Anyone can have a hard time finding a stem cell match, but for Indigenous peoples, it can be even more difficult because just over 1% of prospective donors on Canada's stem cell registry are of Indigenous backgrounds. Be a hero. Join me in Hockey Gives Blood in helping to make a life-saving difference to those in need. Register today at blood.ca/beahero.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
We're all capable of doing more. More speed, more reps, more commitment to getting every detail perfect. And that's why it's important we never miss a donation appointment. Blood and plasma donors are needed every day in Canada to support thousands of patients that rely on Canada's lifeline. We're asking you to join the Hockey Gives Blood Partners for Life team. Join today by downloading the Give Blood app or book online at blood.ca/HGB.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, it's a real quick one here. I thank Fake Gainer commenting in on the Dan Giancola interview. Holy crap, Fake Gainer writes on Twitter. Argos and CFL fans should be listening to the RP show right now. What a story. Dan Giancola, AF. Yeah, I think we're going to be thinking about that one for a while. Quick breaking news. Bernie Lynch, a 69-year-old former WHL coach, has been found guilty of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old hockey player August 7th, 1988. Additionally, he's been found guilty of physically assaulting that same player the following day. I'm rushing this and I shouldn't, but we're all applauding this. I had a role in this situation, and it's had the ending we were looking for. We got a break. We'll be back with Hour 2 right after this.
We're all capable of doing more. More speed, more reps, more commitment to getting every detail perfect. And that's why it's important we never miss a donation appointment. Blood and plasma donors are needed every day in Canada to support thousands of patients that rely on Canada's lifeline. We're asking you to join the Hockey Gives Blood Partners for Life team. Join today by downloading the Give Blood app or book online at blood.ca/HGB.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
IKS Game Day wishes to congratulate the city of Estevan and Affinity Place on their brand new center ice display. This state-of-the-art score clock features 5 LED faces with full motion graphics, scoring integration, and our new halo mounting system. If it's time for an upgrade, let us show you how to deliver the best fan experience. You can find us at iksgameday.com.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
No! How did this fly get in there? Somebody got a fly swatter?
Yeehaw!
It was a shot of Prairie Jesus is really what it was.
It was.
You'd think we would be getting used to it, but we never get used to it. We never get tired of good things happening.
This life doesn't get old.
No. It was a nice little distraction from the real world, and here we are today for a coffee session.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show. It's been something, hasn't it? Quite a day, quite a day. It's a football Friday. I'm kind of calling it a free-for-all Friday. Whatever y'all want to talk about is on the table and up for debate. I'm here in South Florida, as you can see. Ringing in the weekend. Darren Moose DuPont is in Toronto. He joins us now. The plaudits are rolling in for that interview with Dan Giancola, the former Argonauts, longtime CFL kicker, cup of coffee with the Buffalo Bills, and now a best-selling author. Wayne in Victoria, BC writes in, Darren, he says, that was an amazing hour of television. That's what makes the RP show so great. Alan in Saskatoon says, wow. He goes, I know the feeling, Dan. There are miracles, and you are a true miracle. From Hockey Books and Storytellers writes that he says, I've read his book, Be That One. Its message is it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. I encourage everyone to read it. A lot of comments coming in from Dan Giancola, who had a stroke. He's only 53. Now, I understand. To me, that doesn't feel old, okay? Maybe to Darren it does. I'm not sure. Stuff starts to happen.
It's not.
And the thing of it is that I've never quite figured out is why it seems to happen to pro football players more than anything. I don't get it. He said in the interview, folks, you got to go back and watch it in hour 1. Dan Giancola. Can I fire up his Wikipedia again? For those that don't know, you said you remember him. Argonauts, Toronto Argonauts, 1999. He's from Thorold, Ontario. Buffalo Bills, 2000. And then BC Lions in 2000. Back to the Argonauts in 01. Ottawa Renegades 02. Montreal Alouettes 03. Argos 03-04. And then with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 09. Right in my wheelhouse of when I was in the Canadian Football League and just getting going. And he, I'm going to tell you, I didn't really tell you this story. He wrote me on Facebook. We've been Facebook friends for a long time. And he's like, Rod, can I get on your show to talk about my book? And I didn't know his story at all. I didn't know he'd had this stroke, the Black Widow, or the Widowmaker, they call it, the Widowmaker.
Widowmaker.
And having his daughter with him in the ambulance and him raising his arm out of the blue. It's a freaking movie. It's a movie.
Yeah.
That's what his story is. So that was pretty cool. Dan Giancola in hour one. And I'm going to say this too. I rushed this out at the end of hour one, and I feel bad about it. We just had a time restraint, and what am I going to cut Dan Giancola off in the middle of telling a story, how he almost died and how he shouldn't be here? Wasn't going to cut him off. From the Regina Leader-Post, I'm reading this. Bernie Lynch, a 69-year-old former WHL coach, has been found guilty of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old hockey player on August 7th, 1988. Additionally, he's been found guilty of physically assaulting that same player the following day. It goes through the story of it all, which I'm not going to go through here now. Go to Regina Leader-Post, leaderpost.com, and read it. All the details of what went on is in the story. The player can't be named because of publication ban. But let me just say this. A lot of people that are watching now, and I'm not going to name who they are, but we were all part of getting to this day. And to be honest, I didn't think, it was starting to think it wasn't going to happen. And today it did. So congratulations to the courage of a lot of people, but specifically one 17-year-old hockey player from 1988 that did not give up. That's unreal. And because I say it's a Football Friday, we've got Week 13. Sorry, you got comments? You got comments?
No, no, I don't. No, it's just, that's heavy stuff. And it's good to see some resolution to that situation.
Yeah. I kind of wonder what's next. I sent a text to the player, and we don't know. We didn't know this day was going to come, but we'll get through it together. That's what I know. So you want to talk about free-for-all Friday? It's all on the table, Jerry. 902-518-3033. And which reminds me, by the way, you said it's heavy stuff, and it is very, very heavy stuff. But I think a lot about my life, and like Dan Giancola, he's just a good guy. I could sit and do a 2-hour banquet just on kickers and dealing with that. They're good guys. You know what I mean? There are very few jerks. But I just look at my life and the people that I've met and everything. It brings you to a spot in life. And I kind of like this spot. And I want to, so the point is, Darren, I'm going to land the plane, but it is the Rod Pedersen Show. The buzz and the juice. Everybody loves rumors unless they're the target of them. You can put that on like the 98th floor of my tombstone. Rod said, everybody loves rumors unless they're the subject of them. So the point being, Corey Mace was introduced today as the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, had the news conference. Everything's great. And it's very positive. Saw the photo of him signing the contract, kissing his wife. Yes, it's all great for sure. And Rod, don't lose your train of thought. Don't lose your train of thought here. Yeah, but we talked last hour about, was he the first choice? Was he the second choice? Was he the third choice? And does that even matter? But last night I was out with my club, and I got a phone call in the middle of it. I broke away from my gang here in Boca Raton, Florida, and had to take this call. And we were just talking about what we knew, comparing notes. But I was raised this way, and I think people do enjoy the buzz and the juice. And you hear stuff too. You're in the circles, a lot of the same circles I am. But to say this is the way I was raised, and stuff that I've seen. My dad was literally on life support, and your parents are healthy and alive, and you're very lucky, and I've told you to enjoy them because mine are gone. But I remember walking into the hospital room, and my dad had a breathing tube down his throat. He was strapped down, and I immediately burst into tears. And this was like 5-6 years ago. Not that long ago in my mind. Broke out crying, and the nurse grabbed me, and she's like, whoa, 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 what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, look at my dad. She's like, no, 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 this is a good thing. We're saving his life. Doesn't look real good. Okay. And like 3 days later, I'm at Rough Rider practice, and my brother calls, and he's like, you got to get over here. Dad woke up. He's still, like he was, again, getting to a point. So I race over to the hospital. I walk in, and there's my dad. You never met him, but his blue eyes are darting all over the room. And he still had the tube down his throat, but they took the straps off his arms so he could at least move his arms. You know this story because I told him at the funeral. He couldn't talk. He had a damn tube down his throat. So we gave him a dry erase board. And he writes on the dry erase board, what's the buzz around town? Hands it to me. Like, what? I threw it across the room. You're on life support, and you want to know what the rumors are? The way I was raised. Is everybody like that, or just my family?
His eyes open, and he's like, he sees you and your brother. You two schmucks, I wanted coffee roll. I wanted the scoop here. Like, give me the business.
Yeah. If you don't have anything juicy, get the hell out.
Yeah.
So that's just the way sports is. So, hey, I appreciate everybody chiming in on a Football Friday. We'll be talking football. Oh, shoot. We got to get to, this is your last segment.
We got to get to Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, we got to get to that right away. It's our last segment with him. Jim Barker next segment, and then Reed Johnson from the Markcast in the third segment to talk about the XFL-USFL merger, because I don't know what the hell's going on. Something's going on, and I know he'll know. Brad in Swift Current writes in on the 902 line, and he says, Rod, Brad and Swifty just finished watching Dan. Wow, what a story. That was from hour one. You got to go back and watch it, everybody. Number two, Noni writes, Noni is in Calgary, and she says, hi, Rod, it's Noni. I really appreciate your comments about the Riders, even if they sting. We have to be realistic and know things are not perfect in Riderville, but we fans are hopeful. Thanks for your comments. Let's hope we can turn things around. I appreciate that, Noni. As I said, I got half the fan base yelling at me now for being too negative, and when I was the voice of the team, glossing things over, pumping them up, rah, 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 the other half of the fans saying, you're not telling it the way it is. And it didn't feel good in here because I knew that I wasn't. At least now I'm telling you the truth. And the truth hurts. Regarding Touchdown Pacific in Victoria, Krista, where's she watching from? Calgary. We're very big with the ladies. Apparently in Calgary, too. Krista writes in and says, August 31st is Touchdown Pacific. So thank you for missing that. Darren, write it down. We plan to be there, right?
I hope so. That would be a lot of fun to be out there. Absolutely.
Yeah, broadcasting from a naval ship would be really cool if you can swing it. Kirk in Toronto writes in and says, Rod, on the 8th day, God created the Canadian Football League. And he also says, I really enjoyed last night's flag football game. We talked, it's 1:11 Eastern. Going to point that out. 11:11 Mountain. And last hour in this segment, we talked at length about last night's Dallas Cowboys win over Seattle 41-35, and we talked about the College Football Conference Championship games this weekend. So we're putting that behind us, and let me get out my crown. I got it right here. Are you ready, Moose? I'm always prepared. What?
The Velcro strap. The Velcro strap kind of takes away a little bit of the luster of it. We got to just cut that thing off.
Yeah, well, it's, hey, chin strap. Chin strap, Guy Carbonneau.
You know what? It's now it looks like one of those guys in the British gate there in the red and the black, and they can't make a move. Things strapped right under their chin.
Those are the English, don't they call them bobbies? They're like our Mounties in Canada.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Our Ricky Bobbies. If you're not first, you're last. We run a very serious show here on the RP Show. Yes. We are the #1 rated talk show on Game Plus Television. We're very respectable, serious guys. We're going to play NFL Deal or No Deal for our official betting partner, Bet Regal. I'll tell you right now, sign up this weekend for free. Join their free club, betregal.ca, and start playing. I give the point spreads. Darren decides if he's going to take the bet or not. And let's go, Moose. The Los Angeles Chargers visit the... Let me back that up. We're going to start with the Denver Broncos, who have won 5 in a row. They're at the Houston Texans. And the Texans are favored by 3. Deal or no deal?
No deal. I think the Broncos will find a way to keep this thing going.
I'm taking no deal as well. Sorry, no, I'm taking the deal. The streak's got to end sometime. The Los Angeles Chargers, the aforementioned, are at the New England Patriots. Chargers favored by 5.5 on the road at Gillette. Deal or no deal?
Deal. This is a really, really big game for the Chargers.
We got a time crunch here. We got to speed it up, Captain. Detroit at New Orleans. The Lions are favored by 4.5. Deal or no deal?
Give me the deal on that.
Me too. They got a rebound for the Thanksgiving turkey. Arizona at Pittsburgh. The Steelers favored by 5.5. Deal or no deal?
No deal. It'll be closer.
It's a deal from me, dog. The Atlanta Falcons at the New York Jets. Dirty Birds favored by 2. Deal or no deal?
Deal there for me.
Make it 2. Indianapolis Colts at your Tennessee Titans. Colts favored by 1. Deal or no deal?
Deal. Yeah, deal there, even without Jonathan Taylor.
The Colts just keep winning. I don't get it. They just keep winning.
I know.
The Miami Dolphins at Washington. The Finns are favored by 9.5. Deal or no deal?
No deal. I think it'll actually be closer. Finns still win.
No deal from him. Deal from me. Dolphins got a lot to prove, and this will be a good game to do it. Carolina at Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers favored by 5. Deal or no deal?
Bucks are still on the hunt. I'll take a deal.
Yep, ×2. The Cleveland Browns at the Los Angeles Rams. The Horns favored by 3.5. Deal or no deal?
Deal too. I think Joe Flacco might start for Cleveland.
Is that where he is now? San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the game of the weekend. 49ers at Eagles, potentially an NFC conference preview, championship game preview. 49ers favored by 3. Deal or no deal?
Deal for me on that one too. I think Philly's a little fragile.
No. I'm taking the Eagles to win at home. KC at Green Bay. Chiefs favored by 6. Deal or no deal?
Deal. I think they'll win by 7 or more.
Yep, me too. Packers fat and sassy coming after the Thanksgiving win. And Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Monday Night Football. Jags favored by 8.5. Deal or no deal?
Woo. No, too big of a spread for Monday Night Football. I think it'll be closer than that. Prime time.
Okay, you're good. You're good at this. You're good, you. Okay, Moose, have a great weekend. Thanks for playing. Appreciate you.
You too. Have a great weekend.
All right, Jim Barker from the CFL on TSN, 5-time Grey Cup champion, and XFL champion, joins us next on this Football Friday. We are live on Game Plus Television, WQEE Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
333. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902 518 3033.
IKS Game Day wishes to congratulate the city of Estevan and Affinity Place on their brand new center ice display. This state-of-the-art score clock features 5 LED faces with full motion graphics, scoring integration, and our new halo mounting system. If it's time for an upgrade, let us show you how to deliver the best fan experience. You can find us at iksgameday.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
All right, the RP Show continues on this Football Friday, and we've had it all today. NFL, as you just saw. Going to get into some CFL in a moment with Jim Barker. College football, Pac-12 championship going tonight. Conference USA championship going tonight as well. I'm sure that's on your TV. New Mexico State versus Liberty. Those Flames run unbeaten all year. We can talk about it all, and I invite the questions now for Jim Barker, 902-518-3033. You can write us on the streaming chat, too. Hey, Jim, welcome back to the RP Show. Happy off-season, although is it ever really for you in off-season?
No, we got the Aggies playing tonight. I was at New Mexico State. I was one of those coaches fired from there years ago. So to see the Aggies playing against Liberty to win a championship, unbelievable. Now, there's so much great stuff to talk about. I mean, I can't tell you I'm really interested in if Miami's going to beat Washington Commanders by 10 or what. That doesn't. At the college games, then you got Georgia, Alabama. The game tonight, Washington and Oregon. Shoot, the last time I watched them play, Farhan Lalji, who is as big a Washington fan, he's actually in Las Vegas, just sent me a little picture of him and his sons, and they're down there for that game. He's the hugest Washington fan in the world. And if you remember that game, it looked like Washington was going to lose, and I had to massage him through it so he didn't have a heart attack in the middle of our broadcast.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm glad that you've set the stage for the game that's in Las Vegas tonight. For the Canadians that are watching, and you know it's a hockey country, you've been in Canada long enough. I'm trying to get my mind around the college scene down here in the States, and it's taken me a while because it's so immense. How would you explain it to Joe Average Canadian what's about to happen with the conference championships, bowl season, and don't even talk about transfer portal yet? Just try to boil down what's about to happen over the next month.
Well, basically up here, we don't know a lot of who the players are. So the fact Bo Nix is playing quarterback for Oregon, nobody knows he was at Auburn for 4 years, or and Michael Penix was at Indiana, and now he's the quarterback for Washington, and that those two guys are probably the leading candidates to be the Heisman Trophy winner, which goes to the best player, just like the Heck Brighton up here in U Sports. So, it's one of those things that when you watch the games, they're very exciting. The crowds are huge. This Las Vegas game should be really interesting. It's in a local site at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and again, just a phenomenal game. The number 3 ranked team in the country, basically getting 10 points from the number 5 ranked team. So they play to get to a group of 4 that'll be in the championship. Now, New Mexico State Liberty, I'm probably the only person in Canada that really cares about that one. But maybe Kent Austin followers, maybe because of Liberty. But that's because I was at New Mexico State in 1985, and it was my first Division I job. And again, we used to call it Lost Causes. It's in Las Cruces. We called it Lost Causes because coaches just went there to die. So, but to see them playing tonight, Jerry Kill is the head coach there, just a fantastic coach, went through a heart attack, had seizure problems. He's a good friend of Gary Pedersen, who used to be the head coach at TCU. He and I broke in together back in, he was at Sonoma State and I was at San Francisco State back when those schools played football. They don't anymore. So college football in the U.S. is exciting this time of year. It's like the NFL. The NFL is not exciting right now, but the NFL is going to get exciting here in the next couple weeks. But right now, college football is where it's at. I mean, you got Georgia and Alabama, and if Alabama happens to beat Georgia, who is undefeated and the 2-time defending champion, with just 1 loss, Georgia, that a 2-time defending champion, will be out of the playoffs. They won't even have a chance to defend their championship. That's how big a game it is. So, it's exciting because every game is huge in college football down in the States. You lose a game, like Oregon's lost 1 game. That was to Washington. Now they can make up for it by beating them tonight and get themselves back into the hunt to possibly be in the playoffs, but it'll still be a question mark. So there's great excitement with that. Almost as much excitement as Canada's team hiring their head coach yesterday.
And we're going to go there, but I want to say I appreciate the talk from you because with my friends down here, it's all they're talking about is what you just rattled off for the last 4 or 5 minutes. They're all on top of it. But let me ask you this. You said you're sitting in Canada. Before we talk about the Riders hiring Corey Mace, what is it about Canada that made you want to come and stay, not just for the CFL, but also in this cold off season, these cold off seasons?
Well, everything but the weather. But in the off season, you can go out. My kids live in Las Vegas, my kids and grandkids, so I can go down there anytime and get nicer weather. And, but I actually stay here all year round, and everything else about Canada, I just find better. And after I got fired in 2017, I got my citizenship because I didn't want to be told, a permanent resident here isn't necessarily a permanent resident. And I could have been left with who knows what at my age. And, I'm in that Social Security point now. And so I wanted to be set in where I was. And, I live here year round, and I love Canada. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's kind of more me. I'm more comfortable here than I am down in Las Vegas or in LA or some of the places. I was always a West Coaster down there, born and raised in California. So no, it's been a simple decision. And like I say, I'm blessed to be able to call myself a Canadian.
Well, I appreciate the explanation, and I think I know our audience does too. They feel like they know you, but they don't know you, but now they know you a little more, and that includes me as well. So to the hiring of Corey Mace by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, it's getting the thumbs up from the Rider Nation. What's it getting from you?
Well, I think it's a great hire. I really do. I think it's, the more you think about it, and to think one was 2, one was 3, and they got their third. That's all. Regardless, if they interviewed Milanovic first and there was some problem with either he didn't want to come or be told who was going to be on his staff, or regardless of what the problems were, and he has the opportunity to pull out, and that doesn't mean that all of a sudden he was their top guy who pulled out. That's not the case. A lot of times, it's like this year's Grey Cup. The team with the best 45 players didn't win that game, but the team with the best 45, they did. They were together and they won it, because they were together. I look at this Corey Mace hire, and the more I think about it, and I was with Corey all last year in Toronto, got to know him very well. I know he was in Calgary. He's a perfect match for this. He doesn't give a hoot who called in after the shows last year and said they're never going back to a game or doing this or that. He's going to take that city by storm. He's excited to be there. His wife, Petra, I talked to them after the award show, and just about, hey, this Regina thing, this could happen. How do you, and Petra was excited about it. I think he's a young family. He's going to become a part of the fabric of that community. That's kind of maybe what they need right now. And again, all those old timers who said, I'm not going back to any more games until Jeremy O'Day, Corey Mace could care less about that. He's going to have people excited. They're going to come out and support the team. His players, the one thing I can say about Corey Mace is he can attract players. Flo Arimolade was all going somewhere else. And no, he came because of Corey Mace. Wynton McMahon, there's a lot of guys who, when Corey Mace talks to them, they come. Players love playing for him. Shane Ray, who's now with the Buffalo Bills, told me on his way out, he said, the best coach I've ever played for. His thing is he's hands-on. He was a defensive coordinator, but still coached the D-line. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does as the head coach. Which, is he going to stay hands-on with, actually in their coaching? I doubt he'll coach a position, but, he's a very particular guy. He's a guy that, when special teams happen in practice, I go and talk to another coach, or I do. Corey Mace never did that. Every time there was special teams going on, he would find some guys not involved in special teams, and they go work on hand movements and all those things defensive linemen do. He was just, he is just he's very technique oriented. He's very smart X and O wise, but he is a people person. He attracts people. And people who don't want to be a part of the Rider organization, they're going to get left behind, and they're going to end up looking like, wow, I should have got a part of this, because he's going to make it exciting. I think he is the right guy for that situation right now. You're not going to find anybody more excited about being there than Corey, and I think that's really a crucial part of that job right now.
Wonderful endorsement of the move. What does it do to the Toronto Argonauts? Everybody's saying that Jason Shivers, who had been in Sask as the defensive coordinator, is just going to plug and play over in Toronto. Is it that simple, do you think? Will that happen? And if not, whom? What does this do to the Argos, losing Corey Mace?
Well, obviously, when you lose a key guy, he was very involved, and I was involved back in acquiring players when we went out and got Flo and Pickett, Garrett Davis the year before that, and he was very involved in that. That's going to change. There's not many people who are as charismatic as he is. And again, he brought players in. How many coaches is he going to take? He'll probably take Josh Bell, who was one of two secondary coaches. I'm guessing Willie Fields will stay. This is all just me off the top of my head. He'll probably try to get Edwin Harrison, who I think will be a great offensive line coach in this league. He coached the running backs here in Toronto for 2 years, but was another one of those Calgary guys. So what will it do to Toronto? Getting players is going to be different for them on defense. Recruiting players to come. I had Jason Shivers when I was in Toronto. He played for us and started his coaching career with us with Chris Jones. And so Jason's a bright young guy. He can do a lot of those things. He'll have a good relationship with players. But I haven't been with him now in 7-8 years. And you don't know. I know what Corey Mace can do. And I can tell you, Toronto better get their guys signed, because he will be on the phone to them. Even, I'm not saying he's going to tamper. I'm just saying they better get that stuff done.
You never did that. Hey, well, we only got 90 seconds. You and I could do 2 hours, but that legal tampering window, was that a significant thing to bring in? Did that fix the problem of tampering, or just make what they were doing legal?
No, it didn't really make it even. I mean, the bottom line is coaches talk to players all the time, and there's no way they can ever stop that from happening. So there's players out there right now who coaches are talking to from other teams saying, listen, if you go to free agency, we are definitely going to have an interest. Mostly it's position coaches, and they try to keep up with their players, but there's players on other teams that they know well. That's why we had such a beeline with Calgary, because Corey was from Calgary, and I think Calgary should be careful with their players, because same thing's going to happen. And it's one of those things that you can't stop it. It happens in every sport, and players are hit at this time with, do I want to sign with the team I'm with, or do I want to take a chance that maybe something better is going to be there? Well, again, I think a lot of that happens with, Joey from Saskatchewan calls Billy from Montreal, who coached him years ago somewhere, and says, hey, listen, will you guys have interest in me when I leave? He's not going to hang up on him. He's going to say, well, of course we're going to have interest, or, you know what, if you can get this money, you should take it. And most of the time the coaches are pretty honest with them. But that kind of stuff happens all the time. And it's so near impossible to monitor. I mean, I have some great tampering stories in the cold coaching thing that when we have time sometime, you need to get me for 2 segments. That's not so we can talk about these things.
Okay. The statute of limitations has passed on that. You can talk about it now, obviously. Jim, thank you for this. Enjoy the college ball. We'll talk to you in a week. I appreciate the time. Good seeing you.
Sounds great, Ron.
We're going to Seattle next. Reed Johnson of the Markcast joins us on a Football Friday, and his Commanders taking on the Dolphins on Sunday in Week 13. So a lot to get to with Reed. We'll be right back here on the Game Plus TV network, WQEE Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Did you know that you can help save a life? And you can start right now.
Stem cells from male donors increase chances of positive outcomes for patients, yet they only make up 40% of our registry.
Today, there are hundreds of people in Canada searching for their life-saving match.
You can be a patient's best hope. Be a hero by registering with Canadian Blood Services Stem Cell Registry now.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
I'm Bridget Lacquette. I'm a First Nation Olympic silver medalist, and I'm proud to represent Indigenous hockey players across Canada. Each year, hundreds of Canadians need a stem cell transplant from an unrelated donor to save their life. Anyone can have a hard time finding a stem cell match, but for Indigenous peoples, it can be even more difficult because just over 1% of prospective donors on Canada's stem cell registry are of Indigenous backgrounds. Be a hero. Join me in Hockey Gives Blood in helping to make a life-saving difference to those in need. Register today at blood.ca/beahero.
Hi, my name is Logan Stankoven.
And I'm Connor Bedard.
We're both Hockey Gives Blood player ambassadors and proud to be blood donors.
There are thousands of patients each year in Canada that rely on a generous stranger to save their life.
Please book an appointment today to donate blood at blood.ca/HGB.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I tell you what, it's one of those days we could go long. We won't, but we could. It is a Football Friday coming at you, Game Plus TV, on the radio in Atlanta, WQEE, big one for the Falcons. They're at the Jets this weekend. And I have not forgotten about the Dolphins-Commanders game. But Reed Johnson, good friend of ours. There's a lot that we could get to with Reed. We could go an hour or two with him from the Markcast in Seattle, fresh back from Grey Cup. I see he survived it. Before we get to all those stories, Reed, I'm just seeing this noise on social media about the XFL-USFL merger. I don't know if you saw what I said earlier, but I said there's only one guy I want to talk to about this, only one guy that'll have the goods, and that's you. So what's going on?
Oh, it's a mess, Rod. It's an absolute mess. I want to say, first off, on the record, this appearance is officially under protest today due to Clark's Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Kraken last night in a shootout. So I will be a professional. I'm going to be here, but I just want to make sure that's on the record. So quite the sad overtime loss.
We have it. Okay, continue.
Yes.
It's a mess, Rod. They came out yesterday. We have, conflicting reports, no league official announcements of any kind. Danny Garcia is posting stuff on her Instagram. Few things we know for sure. They have passed the antitrust process. So the combined league's plan currently is to kick off in 120 days, Rod. 120 days here, March 30th, Elite 8, March Madness weekend. And we don't know anything. We don't know anything. There's still reports about the number of teams. Mike Mitchell saying there's going to be 8. People are obviously losing their minds about that because, you go from 16 to 8 teams. There's going to be a lot of people that are upset. I have coaches DMing me. What's going on? I have players. I have social media people. It's quite chaotic down here in the States right now.
How did we get this to this point?
I think the idea was, right, let's not compete against each other. Let's come together, right? XFL and USFL both seem very adverse to spending or losing money of any kind. So the idea of this continual downsizing, XFL following season 1, they laid off a lot of the marketing people. We downsized ticket people. USFL now 2 seasons in, it's continuing. So it's now we're not growing by merging or expanding. We're joining forces and we're reducing down, I guess, trying to save some costs. The current plan, as we understand it, is similar to how the XFL played in season 1. So we'll fly into the cities. will house people in Arlington, and then we're kind of having this mishmash of it's either 5-3 in terms of the two leagues and their teams, or 4-4 depending on the reports you read.
Okay, well, I know you're not happy about it. It's not like you wear the XFL thing. Do you have an XFL tattoo? I don't think you do.
I don't.
You don't wear it on your arm or butt, but how about your guy a rash? Like, for those that say the twice failed league and blah blah, here's the CFL still going strong. Choo choo. Spring football's taking the pills now, man.
And just the way they've handled this, right? If they had come out, and we knew at the end of September when you had me on the first time, and they had announced, okay, we have an intent to pursue this merger. There was 8 different, emails that were sent, and different press releases and different statements. Like I said yesterday, we don't get anything. I mean, Danny Garcia posting on her Instagram and a leaked email from Russ Brandon, who is supposedly going to be the top executive here of the new merged league. That's it. A leaked email, and then the Danny Garcia Instagram post is what we have to work on right now in terms of official league messaging.
You said the name XFL seems to be going. I saw you say somewhere that it won't be called the XFL. Yeah. Was it you that said the UFL if they play at all?
Yeah, the United Football League, nothing to do with, I think there was one back in the 90s. There was a couple of these, rehashed alphabet soup I know you guys like to make fun of. But yeah, the UFL, there had been, which, again, why spend all this time and energy buying the XFL out of bankruptcy? We're suing the old USFL people to get those trademarks. We tracked all of that 2 summers ago. We spent all this time and energy on these 2 different brands, and now we're going to get rid of both of them, and we're going to do, I guess, the United Football League, because we don't want to hurt feelings of either league. Like, I think that's why if ultimately they do 4 teams from each, it's just so that each league can save face and you don't have 5 XFL teams and 3 USFL. It's just weird. Like, we need to soothe the egos of everyone involved, is at least kind of how I read it. Like, we don't want anyone to feel like, either one is saving face here. We got to kind of make sure it's an equal departure from both here.
Do you feel the league will kick off in 120 days?
I was asked that yesterday. We did a 2-hour live therapy session, probably the most viewers we'd had kind of concurrently on any of our streams. I don't know. Both of these leagues have operated as business as usual for the last couple of months here, which now I'm getting DMs from, people involved with teams that aren't making the merger reportedly, and they go, we've been signing people. We've been, we were told that we were playing regardless if there was a merger or not. And now that there is a merger, our team is going away. So what does that mean? So, both of these leagues certainly, at least there's been mixed messaging the entire time. And I don't know. I don't feel quite confident right now on it. I understand people are upset. I understand people say you should just be happy there's more spring football. From a fan perspective, my opinion doesn't really matter. It's more the players that are losing the opportunities. It's more the staff, the coaching, ticket sales people, social media people, communications people. There's hundreds of lives kind of involved in all of this. And I think from the beginning, this running business as usual was really short-sighted, and I don't know, it almost kind of misleading in terms of if you were worked for one of these leagues, you were hearing one thing when behind closed doors they were actively kind of working with the government to how can we reduce these teams down. I think it's very misleading if you worked for either of these leagues right now.
It's sad and a bad look. Having said that, you must have been happy to hear about Touchdown Pacific's announcement. Just a little roadie for you, not far. I mean, you're not afraid to travel, but I'm sure you're planning to be in Victoria Labor Day weekend next year.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend for a Seattle wedding videographer is probably not the ideal time to try to plan that. So we'll see. We'll see how the wedding calendar works out. No, Amar didn't ask me how my schedule works, so we'll do our best. Going up to Hamilton here in November is a little bit easier for me for the Grey Cup, and we'll certainly be at the Grey Cup next year. But we'll see. It might be touchy.
How bad do the Dolphins beat the Commanders on Sunday?
It's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, it was a bloodbath against the Cowboys, your Cowboys here on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, it was as bad as anything I ever could have expected it to be. What was it, 45-10 or something? I mean, I was over at my mother's house. We had a build your own Bloody Mary bar, which kind of took care of a little bit of the pain of watching that game. But, Ron Rivera is dead man walking. He's calling the defensive plays. He hasn't been the defensive play caller for years. We fired Jack Del Rio. It's like the Green Mile here when they're bringing in the guy, the dead man walking, dead man. We got to get rid of Ron here at the end of the season. I think it's going to be really bad, and it's going to be another bad loss at home, which I think is even worse for Josh Harris and the guys, Magic Johnson and everyone with the new ownership there trying to build a fan base. Because I think it was the Bears game as well where they came in and kicked our butt 40-20 or whatever. It's just another bad home loss I'm kind of expecting.
Dude, you're great at this. I just put it on the tee and you just knock them all up. Grey Cup. Give me your assessment of the Grey Cup. You were there.
We did. Tremendous success. We had like 67,000 viewers for our Grey Cup preview show, which was like 4 times what we did last year, which is, Evan and Jason and I, a cell phone and a ring light. So, hey, CFL, if you want to talk about kind of utilizing the alternative content creators out here, a cell phone and a ring light got us more viewership than kind of anyone else involved with that. But it was tremendous. You and I both love Cody Fajardo. I saw his interview on your show. Could not be more proud for him and Jason. And, here we're kicked out of town. And I had Cody on in the off season when he got to Montreal, and how did that go? And to see him now find that success, and I think it was so cool that it was on his hands to kind of win that game. And here, like he said, that's what every pro athlete wants, right? Every top athlete is to be able to win the game with, in my hands. And he was able to do that. And it's life changing. I mean, it changed his life, changed his career trajectory. And I mean, he's forever immortalized now. So.
Oh, a hell of a story. I said it's going to be a great book or a great DVD or a great Netflix series, whoever wants to do it first. Reed, I appreciate you coming in and straightening out everything, man. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Keep in touch. Keep being you above all.
All right, man. Thanks, and go Kraken.
There you go. Reed Johnson from the Markcast. Overtime's next. Sports update and the last viewer takeover of the week. So get your questions and comments in now. 902-518-3033, and we'll update the poll question for Key Auto Group. We are live on the Game Plus TV network, Apple Podcasts, WQEE Radio, Spotify, and YouTube Live.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hi, my name is Logan Stankoven.
And I'm Connor Bedard.
We're both Hockey Gives Blood player ambassadors and proud to be blood donors.
There are thousands of patients each year in Canada that rely on a generous stranger to save their life.
Please book an appointment today to donate blood at blood.ca/HGB.
IKS Game Day wishes to congratulate the city of Estevan and Affinity Place on their brand new center ice display. This state-of-the-art score clock features 5 LED faces with full motion graphics, scoring integration, and our new Halo mounting system. If it's time for an upgrade, let us show you how to deliver the best fan experience. You can find us at iksgameday.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Okay, everybody, here we are. Answer the bell, please. 902-518-3033. Don't make me go back and read the texts earlier from all the NHL fans. Once they realized it was a football show today, we've only been calling it Football Friday for 5 years. Once they realized it was football today, they took off. The Oilers fans want to gloat. The Jets fans want to cry. I'm talking Winnipeg Jets fans. And the Flames fans want to say they got fleeced by Vancouver in the Zadorov trade. I can go back and find them if you want. 902-518-3033 is the number to write me now for the next 6 minutes. Sober Carpenter, non-alcoholic craft beers, brings you the text line daily. You set them up, we knock them down. Getting buzzed on suds here, the non-alcoholic variety. I tell you what, tastes great, no regrets. The sports update here. The Toronto Raptors host R.J. Barrett and the New York Knicks at Scotiabank Arena tonight. The Toronto-born Barrett helped Canada win a bronze medal and qualify for the Olympics at the FIBA World Cup in September. Raps coming off a 112-105 win over Phoenix, while the Knickerbockers have won 2 straight. In the National Hockey League, the Ottawa Senators look to snap a 2-game slide as they visit the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sens looking to rebound from Monday's 5-0 drubbing to the visiting Florida Panthers. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets have just 7 wins through 24 games and are coming off a 4-2 loss to Montreal on Wednesday. Sports Update is brought to you by Landmark Cinemas. In theaters tonight and moving forward. Silent Night. How about that? And what a coincidence. It's the holiday season. We're also brought to you by Common Crown Brewing Company, turning your everyday common beer into a unique and exceptional experience. Visit commoncrown.ca. I feel bad. There were a lot of comments come in throughout the course of the program that I could not totally understand. Oh, my God. Thank you, Kirk in Toronto. He's watching on Game Plus, and he never misses, particularly these Football Fridays. He says, hi, Rod. Thank God the CFL didn't merge with the XFL. Would have been drawn into that mess. Hey. You're right, bro. I have 0 problems admitting when I'm wrong. None whatsoever. I was for it because I was such a fan of the 90s expansion with the Canadian Football League. I thought we could do it again. This all came about during the pandemic where I thought the CFL was going to die, and it didn't. You know what? They were all right. This is a mess. And to be honest, I'm not even following the XFL and USFL anymore. And whatever it becomes, they screwed it all up. That's on them. I have moved on. I was just saying to somebody the other day, and people can use a 1-strike rule with me if they want. For me, I'm now down to the 1-strike rule. You guys screwed it up. U.S. spring football, begone. Ryan in Toronto, says, a memorable episode. Thanks, Rod and crew. Yeah, it's been good. The guests are the stars, as I told Fake Gainer on Twitter today. John Schmeiser in Kansas City. This was his kind of show today. Says, have a great show, Rod. Great show, Rod. Have a great weekend, everyone. Well, we're certainly off to a great start. As my guy Johnny O says, today's a great day, right, Rod? When Jim Barker explained why he's in Toronto and why he's become a Canadian citizen, it was just flip it, and it's a wonderful explanation as to why I'm in Florida. I feel way more comfortable here. It's the way it is, the way things happen. Really good friend of mine is Greg Zahn, as you know, World Series champion with the Blue Jays. He's from L.A. Now lives in Canada, or he's moving back to Canada. Just flip. I just don't like the cold. Have you figured that out yet? It's not a people thing. It's a weather thing. Jason in Red Deer says, getting buzzed on suds. Are you going giggling for frogs later too, Rod? I don't know what that means. Allie in Texarkana says, great show today. Have a great weekend, RP, crew, and squad. You too, Allie. Go Stars, and just be happy, everybody. Ryan in New York said some good comments today. He says, have a great weekend, Rod Squad. Enjoy whichever sports you watch this weekend. He had a good one about the spring football. Paul in Humboldt, thanks, Reed Johnson. I learned a new term for watching the RP show, participating in sports therapy. Paul, I've been saying it for years. Where you been? Ryan says the 1980s USFL was the most successful spring football league and would have kept going if 3/4 of the league wasn't broke. And if I'm not mistaken, if Trump wasn't a donkey and tried to go against the NFL. Knob. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you, Gary and BC. See you Monday.
Who has more fun than us?